This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off free shipping and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different, and he's a blonde hair.
I love that intro. Sums it up perfectly. Hey, that was a quick month. Welcome back to the Ultimate Spider Cast. That's right, it's a Scarlet Spider episode. I am Phil. And that means I am joined, well, by the hooded Avenger himself, Boston's own clone.
Yes, I am the clone of Matt Clona.
And that Dark Avenger, I won't make any Batman references. That High Priest of Khonshu, Australia's own.
Hey, hello everyone, it's Ray, also known as a Skrull. So, here I am.
If you listen to Quantum Zone, yes, that's our house Skrull. All right.
Power and responsibility.
That's right. So, talking some, for the day, current Scarlet Spider. No more origins or prequels, but yes, it was the 90s, so foil covers on these people. Yeah.
Green foil for this one.
Beautiful.
Like I was telling Ray, this was also a flip book, so this was this was where they first printed the first half of that Spider-Man Lost Years #0.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's getting grown in the tank, and then Gwen and the Gwen clone and the Jackal come after Ben Reilly.
Yeah, sort of picking where we left off in the first sort of appearance, right? From was it first episode we did 2 months ago?
Oh yes. But yeah, this was a weird time in Spider-Man history because, Aunt May's had a stroke or whatever. That's what brought Ben Reilly back to town.
Yeah,
Peter's kind of dark because he thought his parents had come back from the dead, but they turned out to be androids sent by his friend Harry Osborn, who went insane and became the Green Goblin again and then died. So
he's dealing with a lot.
So between losing the parents again, now he thinks Aunt May's dying.
Yeah. Things are rocky. Are things rocky with MJ as well, or
not really? But he's basically just retreated into himself. So she's like, "Why aren't you coming home?" And hey, why am I throwing up all the time?
That's right, and he's also kind of just known as the Spider, right?
Yes, he's calling himself the Spider. Yeah. It was it might have been the month before this. Yeah, I think it was Spider-Man 50. They just show him. He just came home long enough to eat. I mean, there's food scattered all over the kitchen. He's like, Parker would civilized. I am the Spider. And he's just like crouching on the kitchen table, eating an apple or something.
Wow,
the grim and gritty 90s people.
Yeah.
So the issue, I think it was a Spectacular Spider-Man that led up to this because it starts in Web 117. He had just beaten the crap out of the Scorpion, and that issue ended with Peter talking to Aunt May in her hospital room. And then he sees Spider-Man swing by, and was like, what's going on? Yeah, and he races to the roof, and then Peter Parker comes face-to-face with Spider-Man, where this issue picks up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rooftop confrontation to start it out.
I love it. I love in all the flashback stuff we've done so far. It's Ben Reilly has long hair and everything, but it's look, their first face-to-face encounter, he looks exactly like Peter, haircut and everything.
Yeah,
I know, especially if he's going to visit Aunt May.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, true.
I guess he's trying to blend in, so people see him, they just think he's Peter. Okay, I buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was all those little vignettes that led up to Web of Spider-Man as well. There's
there's
a bit of time that passes, and he's like looking at Peter's life, and I guess between then he kind of decided to scrub up and then visit Aunt May and all that. So.
Oh yeah, because there's all these mysterious phone calls, and like they're like, who's this shadowy figure? And I think in one he was even wearing like Peter's like high school ring. I was like, did he steal the ring before he left town? And I'm like, why would he have a ring, class ring?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of believable because, I mean, who wears their high school ring? Actually, I do know a lot of people I've met. Like, you're still wearing your high school ring? You're 50 years old. Okay, all right.
They're like, they're Flash Thompson. They peaked in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Peter comes face to face with Ben. Oh, look, page 2. He's wearing that. I think that's the class ring he's wearing on his.
There it is. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, that was one way that you can really identify him from Peter Parker in some of the previous things. He's got that ring on.
Peter just like starts attacking. He's like, who? He's like, who are you? Another dimensional doppelganger? Because Infinity War.
Yeah.
State-of-the-art replicoid, or the chameleon himself.
Take your pick. There's plenty of choices.
Yeah. Or Peter's like, Peter's in a dark place. He's like, maybe you're just a twisted figment of my imagination.
Yeah, he's pretty dark, isn't he? He's kind of really retreated. So, knowing his villains as well, anything could really...
Yeah. And he is in a dark place, so he's like, I'm in the mood to beat on Peter Parker.
Without hesitation.
Exactly.
Throwing down. The spider is not to be trifled with. Yeah.
I kind of like this art as well. I thought originally it was Mark Bagley, but it's some guy, Steve Butler.
Yeah.
Randy
he did he did some stuff in the 90s. That's what I was going to say. Like Bagley's like my favorite Spider-Man artist. Yeah, Steve Butler does like a pretty good...
Yeah, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real good. I love this art. Yeah.
But I love Ben's. It's like, Peter's like, don't call me that.
Yeah, I'm the spider.
I'm Batman. Because seriously, it's like, now he's all dark. He's the spider. And then it's like, oh, hey, let's go to... Because after that scene, they go to Ravencroft Hospital, which, they're kind of bringing back in Marvel Comics these days. But I'm like, okay.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Okay, Arkham Asylum, I see you there.
Yeah.
And can we just pause for a bit and talk about this guy, Traveler? Judas Traveler. What are you guys?
He's a Dr. Ray. Come on. Yeah.
Doctor.
Yeah, he looks like a man out of time. He's sort of Western vibe. He's got a cowl, the weird little necklace, and multiple belts.
I was getting some kind of weird rock star vibe off him. I don't know. Maybe it's just the entourage. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really exudes the 90s, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's like the trench coat, cloak, or whatever it is he's got. And
because even if Traveler doesn't set off alarm bells with Dr. Kafka or anything, it's just like, oh, look at this entourage. I mean, for God's sake, the one woman's in cutoff short, Daisy Dukes. I mean, come on, shorts.
Yeah.
Dr. Traveler, I don't know what you're up to.
Yeah, they're interesting characters, these other ones as well.
Yes.
When I say interesting, I mean, I don't know. I didn't find him that interesting, but
I mean, Traveler is the child we don't talk about. By the end of the Clone Saga, he's gone. I mean, they never mention this guy. I don't think he's ever come back into the comics since the Clone Saga. Yes.
He stopped traveling.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of spearheads the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it's weird. What's weird, because I think... Yes, NBC. No, I think he was... he was created by DeMatteis, I think. J.M. DeMatteis. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know... Because it seemed like during the Clone Saga, he had plans for him. Like, he was maybe this being with, like, godlike power. And then, I guess when DeMatteis left, like...
They just said, well...
Yeah, Traveler didn't really show up until, like, the end of the Clone Saga. And then I think, what was it, DeFalco or someone was just like, oh, yeah, he's just a doctor with, like, these like psychic abilities and stuff. He can create illusions and stuff. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was basically like, forget this guy. He's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm quite happy that he isn't. He's not. I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Didn't
weird.
find him that interesting.
Because he's not like your typical Spider-Man villain. Because like I said, while DeMatteis was here, it just seemed like they were trying to paint him as like this powerful cosmic level threat. And it's like, that's not a typical Spider-Man villain.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they set up that whole thing, and then back to the Peter and Ben fight. And,
there's a cool little bit here where they're fighting, and I think he knocks over some canisters or some tanks, and then you get all these warped reflections of Peter, and
I love that.
Just kind of symbolic.
Yeah,
all these faces looking back at him. Who is he really?
Well, he actually pulls Peter's mask off. He's like, "Face the truth. I'm your clone." And he's like, "The Jackal's Pawn." Last seen in Amazing Spider-Man 149 through 151.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
but he's like kicks Peter into the wall and takes off.
Yeah,
and then we see Judas Traveler like basically wandering the halls of Ravencroft, going through Spider-Man's villains.
Really well drawn Carnage here. I love the way he's drawn.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This is sort of like Carnage, like when he first debuted in Amazing Spider-Man. That's what he looks like. I think this is because this is picking up after he was first contained, right? He hadn't had that many storylines.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah. He hadn't been in. Well, this was it. There was his first appearance. Then there was Maximum Carnage.
Maximum Carnage. Yeah.
Oh, this is after Maximum Carnage.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because that was before the whole clone thing. Yeah. Yes. Because after a couple months in the Clone Saga, we'll get Maximum Clonage.
What?
Yes. There's a. How many parts is that? I think it's like. Is it 8 parts or something? Well, there's an Alpha and Omega at the end, too. But yes, instead of Maximum Carnage, it's Maximum Clonage. Get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, you're in for a treat. Sarcastically. But yeah, I mean, we get Carnage and his host, Cletus Cassidy, looking all Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. And he's not as, he's been re-envisaged now in the Kate's run, total badass in Absolute Carnage. Here is still a little dialed down. I mean, he's quite powerful still, but nowhere near.
His relationship with the symbiote is not quite as. He doesn't realize the depth of the power. He's just still a crazy man being taken over by it and just killing and.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you see like them painting Judas Traveler as like this big, powerful entity. And it's like, oh, even your symbiote fears me. This alien creature even fears me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going through Chameleon and Shriek and then Carnage and
Johnny Blaze. No, that's Kane, right? Yeah.
No, that's that's just the stereotypical. That's one of Judas Traveler's henchmen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Boone,
right.
Isn't it?
Oh right, yeah.
Boone, I think, yeah.
Boone.
Yeah, it looks like Nomad.
I know, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of 90s, it seems like in the 90s they're like, oh, we need to look for this guy. Just give him the long hair, the glasses, the trench coat,
and the glasses. Yeah.
Oh my lord! And then the girl in the cutoff shorts is Medea. Wait, so Tyler Perry's playing? Wait, is it Tyler Perry?
But she's actually a bit of a bloodthirsty one, isn't she?
Oh
you
yeah.
See later on,
Boone and Medea,
she's the one that wants to do. Yeah.
Oh Lord, and boy hostage John Jameson. But yeah, Traveler and his henchmen start taking over Ravencroft, and
Chakra has a bit of a role as well. She kind of plants, or she gives information, and she plants the seeds in Riley's mind, I think, as well, about taking over Peter's life.
Well, yeah. Well, first the challenge. She issues the challenge to Peter. Dr. Judas Traveler. He's taking control of Ravencroft. He'll kill the inmates unless you stop him. But if you stop him, he's going to release them all.
Yeah, that's.
I see you, Batman Nightfall. Bane for the inmates of Arkham. I see you. So Peter swings off the Ravencroft, and I guess Ben heard the whole thing. He's like, let me pull out this Spider-Man. Look, they did that in your. Why did he use that in the Lost Years? Because in issue 0, we even saw him taking the cost. Well, I guess again, he's always like, I don't want to make trouble for Peter.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, Mary Jane, Aunt Anna with a still comatose Aunt May.
Yeah, there's a little secondary nice subplot there with Mary Jane and her responsibilities, I guess, with Aunt May, but also with her relatives. So, yeah,
her relatives who live in Pittsburgh. Thank you.
I like that. Multiple storylines, but sort of under the same umbrella of responsibility and who you are to other people and what you are.
Yeah. And then Peter makes it to Ravencroft, and Judas Traveler basically has a force field around the Ravencroft. And he's only letting Spider-Man in. And again, as if we didn't read this the first time, he's like, either save them from me, but if you do, I'm going to release, all these dangerous criminals out into the street. So Peter walks in.
What a dilemma.
Yes, Peter walks in and the door slams shut, and that's the end of part 1. And then
So what is Traveler's what's his motivation? What is his end game? He wants to analyze the mentally ill, right? The psychopathic.
Yeah, I guess.
But he finds some interest in Spider-Man. Or he finds an interest actually in him and his clone, which I think that's probably made it more interesting for him. But
I mean, they never fully fleshed him out. Like I said, with once DeMatteis leaves, no one knows what to do with this guy. But it's just, I don't know. They always painted him as like he's studying the human condition, I guess.
Yeah.
It does seem like he's studying psychopaths, and he wants to see how a hero reacts to being put into this psychotic situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
And plus, they were ramping up at this is the beginning of the Clone Saga. They're ramping up to reveal eventually that Ben Reilly, I think, is Spider-Man. I think they had that idea at this point, so it's like.
Right.
So it's like, oh, look, the real Spider-Man's not acting crazy like the other one, like his clone. But yeah, I mean, you see in flashbacks, he's picked the name Ben Reilly, but like right now in the story, like no one knows he goes by Ben Reilly, so it's like the clone, Spider-Man and his clone.
Yeah.
But part 2 is an Amazing Spider-Man 394. Again, with my favorite Spider-Man artist, Mark Bagley.
Oh, Bagley, yeah. Beautiful art.
Yeah, I felt spoiled. This was the first comic that I had a subscription to, and it was around this time. And yeah, I love this art. Always will have a close personal spot in my heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all 4 of the books we're covering this month are from October 1994.
Yep.
But yeah, issue 2 opens up with Ben Reilly just on the rooftops, longing for the life that Peter has. And then just thinking, I'm going to make sure Aunt May's okay and then leave town.
Yeah. I mean, the conflict, because New York City is such a part of who Peter Parker is, and Ben Reilly's got all those memories, so just staring out at it after being displaced from it from so long, but still feeling that connection is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And then
we get into the Traveler again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, look.
Yeah.
It's, I guess, on page 3, it's saying Ravencroft is up in Westchester County, so it's like, where the hell are the X-Men? I mean, he's making a big spectacle of himself. You don't think, Xavier wouldn't be picking this up or anything,
Yeah. we find the mansion's just next door. But, it's just like they didn't do anything. Well, they're hiding again, dead.
They were
again.
in the. What if they're in the training room? You know,
The danger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I don't know. They could,
But
But I like seeing Sorry.
No, I was saying when we get to who Judas Traveler sees, I think that because I was reading a lot of the Spider-Man titles back then, and the one that I probably favored the least was Spectacular Spider-Man. I still read it, but I just felt like
Oh, really?
I don't know. I mean, like at this time, I was more a fan of Web. I mean, Amazing was my top, and then I kind of. In Web of I would read more often. Then I would sometimes read Spider-Man, the regular one. But I was a big McFarlane fan, so I read it less after he left. But Spectacular Spider-Man, like some books had the same villains over and over again, and I just felt like every time I picked up a Spectacular one, I was like, ugh, another Vermin issue? Come on, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
And then Vermin makes a rare, amazing appearance.
Well, he's one of. He was created by J.M.D. Mateus, so you know how some writers favor certain characters they create.
Bring there
because he originally created them in a Captain America issue, and then once he like jumped on Spider-Man, he brings him in the Spider, especially the Kraven's Last Hunt, that classic story. Vermin's in there. Yeah,
I thought Spectacular was. I mean, all those four titles, Matt, are very strong. I think my favorite would be Web of and Amazing around this time. But Spectacular was one of the first Spider-Man titles that I collected. So Sal Buscema, very iconic for me. And I don't know. For me, just personally, I'd rate it above the adjectiveless Spider-Man.
It could have been for sure. I mean, it's your opinion. It definitely was.
Let me tell you what your opinion is, Ray. But no, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Adjectivist was also like the new kid on the block at that point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed all the titles, but I think it's just that Sal Buscema's art is so different than like the other three this month. He has a more old. I mean, he had been around the longest, so his style was more old school, and the rest of them were.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it as well, but actually, I thought the third part for me, the art was the least, my least favorite out of all 4 issues. So yeah, but the first two were the strongest for sure.
I mean, I like all of them, but I just think it's like Buscema's just seems so out of place. I mean, even if the Spider-Man Part 3, the art wasn't your favorite, it was just like I didn't think it was such a big takeoff from like the first 2 parts as the art was for Part 4.
But yeah, I mean, you see Vermin, as you say, very, very cool. I like Vermin, and Nick Spencer's used him as well more recently. What was it? Was it in Hunted where they're like multiple vermin? He actually multiplied them.
Oh yeah, that Spider-Man story. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. But he's always a scary character for me, especially I just remember from Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Did anyone ever read The Child Within? It's the sequel to Kraven's Last Hunt. It was a spectacular Spider-Man thing, and they really, J.M.D. Mateus really like gets into Vermin's backstory. There's like child abuse in that background too.
Wow.
It just seems like in the 90s it was like a lot of people just like suffer this horrible like abuse in childhood.
Messed up.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Traveler basically is just like transforms, Vermin, and then he pops them outside. He's like, no.
What was the point of that?
I don't know. Well, it's like Edward, the guy who had been transformed into Vermin, had finally been cured. Yeah, I don't know, but like Traveler like changes them back, but then he like again, it's like studying the dark side of humanity. But I don't know what that whole 1-page. I think that's the problem. People's problem with Judas Traveler. It's just like, what's the point of him? And they never really fully explained it.
Yeah, he seems a little bit muddled, the character.
Yeah, because like I said, they painted him as all powerful. I think they were trying to make it, he's this ancient being. But then once DeMatteis left, they're like, he's just like a psychotic psychiatrist or something. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we get Peter wandering the halls of Ravencroft, basically.
Yeah.
I am the spider. Should I save these criminals?
But he's suffering. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
1,000 thoughts crawl like insects through his mind. He's breaking.
Mm-hmm. And he sees the chameleon, who's basically still nuts after their last encounter because Peter went after him once he found out. I mean, it was Harry Osborn's idea, but like he gave it to the chameleon to send the fake parents. Because the chameleon was, the chameleon didn't know his identity, but he's like, there must be some connection between Peter Parker and Spider-Man with the amount of pictures he's taken of the man. King. That's the me and Lilith's joke. Peter Parker, king of the selfies. He was taking selfies decades before it was a thing. So, yeah. The chameleon's completely insane, but then he runs into Carnage in his cell. No parameters on this this one's madness.
Yeah.
It's because basically, I guess Judas Traveler's in Peter's head, like listening to this whole thing.
Yeah. So is this one's not Demetrius, is it? Because it's very...
Yeah, I think...
Well, maybe I guess it's...
I think it is, yeah, because I think he took over... Yeah, it is Demetrius, yeah, because he had taken over Amazing at this point, yeah.
Because you can kind of tell the whole kind of mind games. He loves that sort of writing, yeah.
Yeah, I love this team of, like, Demetrius and then, of course, Mark Bagley art.
Mm.
Yes, and then we see Mary Jane at the airport leaving for Pittsburgh to visit her sister.
Yeah, that was a big decision, and we'll see later. Like she kind of regrets it, and full moon, love it. Full
moon. And look, Ray, and she gets on the plane and it flies into the night.
True. Where's Mark? Anyway.
Moon Knight joke, people. And then we see Ben Reilly.
He's in first class. He's a billionaire, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Stephen Grant. Yeah.
Ben Reilly at the hospital visiting Aunt May, and then the doctor walks in, and it's like, Mr. Parker? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness he cut his hair. I mean, otherwise it would have been like, wow, your hair really grew in a couple hours since I saw you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right, because I don't think the doctor had met Peter yet, so it's like, oh, hey, Mr. Parker. Because Ben was like, wait a minute, does Peter know this woman? And it's like, oh, I recognize you from your wife's description. It's like, oh, yes.
Right, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Oh, Lord. And then, we get Peter crawling through Ravencroft some more, and then we get...
who is this guy? The Scryer.
Scryer. Again, it was like he was... they first started painting him as like another ancient guy, I guess, who like hung out with Traveler every so often. Yeah, and then after the Clone Saga, they painted it where it was like... It was like a group of guys in costume. They were kind of like a cult, and I think...
Okay.
Once they do the big reveal of the Clone Saga, they reveal that that the Scryers were working for the mastermind behind the real mastermind behind the Clone Saga.
Oh. Okay, so they are a kind of continuous thread in this whole Clone Saga.
Yeah. It just like pops up basically like he's watching. It's like, okay. I told you, many shadowy people watching people from shadows and rooftops and.
Be a good drinking game.
Yeah.
An excuse for the wine, huh, Ray? Then Peter's like encounters Traveler. Who are you? Why don't you leave me alone?
I like this actually. This is a really cool, and the way that Bagley draws it, the Traveler is just taking all the hits, and his face is just expressionless. It's like, whatever.
I know. I love that panel there where he just has like Spider-Man by the neck with one hand, the other hand he's just like stroking that beard like, you're an interesting one, hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like basically in Peter's mind, and he's like, wait a minute. And he's like, wait, there's two, thinking there's two of you? Because he said like, he finds some hidden truth that maybe you're not even aware of. So I'm assuming at this point, if their whole plans are like, oh wait, you're a clone? Wait, because they were going to make Ben Reilly the real one, because he's like, He basically like just starts laughing at Spider-Man. He kicks Traveler in the face. Don't do this to me. I'm not some joke. I'm not some laboratory experiment. But yeah, he's basically letting loose on Traveler. Oh, looks like get a little blood or something from Traveler, but
where? Yeah. At his mouth.
Yeah. But besides that, it doesn't look like he's really bothered by it. He's like, here's an utterly broken man.
Looks like he enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And basically, seems like he's driving Spider-Man insane.
Yeah. The mind games take over.
And Scryer's basically like, what? Yeah, what now? Did the inmates die? And Traveler's like, no, not yet. Or the little experiment isn't over. He's like, you see, when I looked into his mind, I discovered there's another one.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 Spider-Men to play with.
Dun, dun.
That's right. 2. So Shocker has to go out and send another message.
Yes. Yeah, she has a very kind of limited role, doesn't she? She's kind of just a bit of a messenger.
Yes. But basically tempting Ben Reilly more than Peter. She's like, hey, you know, Judas Traveler has Peter, and you can let Spider-Man die and just take over his life.
Yeah, that's a really that's a really interesting, I think, a really nice point to bring, and because it really does raise questions for Ben Reilly, because he wants that life. It's been set up like that he really wants it. This is a good chance to do it.
But yeah, like I said, I think the original plan was to make Pete.
Sorry, that was my alarm.
Oh. Wake up, Matt! It's time to wake up.
I know.
But yeah, the original plan was to make Peter the clone, and I think this was another stunt that, a lot of people, some of the people at Marvel didn't like a married Spider-Man, so they're like, hey, make Peter the clone, then we can have Ben Reilly as the real unmarried Spider-Man.
Oh.
Chaos.
Yeah. But they always want like a. That's why I always say bring the marriage back, because they always want like a young, carefree, single Spider-Man. You got that in Miles Morales now, so let Peter get married again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. And now we get to Ray's favorite issue, Spider-Man 51.
Well, this one, I just want one last thing before we leave Amazing Spider-Man. Just this was the last issue with the classic logo.
Oh.
The next one turns into jagged Spider-Man. This is the nice arch to it. So it's just a little, they're trying to change things up a little bit, make it more modern for the time. But yeah, $3.95, different logo entirely, straight, all caps, the Amazing, and then sort of it looks like the sort of the Spider-Man 2099 logo, but when he battles Puma,
yes.
Puma, yeah.
But yeah, I need a grip.
But yes, let's get it to 51.
That cover, just Ben Reilly in the mask and gloves, swinging around in bare feet. But no, this is the first issue, because those other flashbacks came later. But this is the first issue where he actually reveals he's calling himself Ben Reilly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yep. Straight off the bat, yeah.
Yep. Telling that comatose Aunt-Man.
Yeah, she's not going to hear it anyway.
No.
That's what he's thinking. She flatlines here, doesn't she? Oh no, she doesn't. There was a bit of a
right. The monitor just got unplugged or whatever.
The monitor just got unplugged. Yeah.
I mean, so it's basically just Ben talking to Aunt May, and it's just like, you kind of raised me, not that you did, but I have the memories, and I know you wouldn't want me to let Peter die, so. See, the cover looks funny, but as he he puts the mask and gloves on and swings off, he's like he's like crawling on walls with those boots on. It's like, as funny as the bare feet look, it'd be more.
He is barefoot in the cover, yeah.
Yeah, it would be more realistic to have the bare feet, because I don't know if that power's working through those boots.
Yeah. Also, at a glance at the cover, it kind of looks like maybe because of the colors of it, he looks a little Iron Fisty, just with the I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, more mind games. Ravencroft, the
Yes.
strange man in the glasses.
Yeah.
Judas. No.
Yeah. Oh, just want to say, sorry, just one quick thing with the Aunt May thing. It's a great little technique to have someone comatose in stories, because you can flesh out people's thoughts and just have them talking to them and reflecting.
Do a recap. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way. But yeah. Sorry. Back at Ravencroft, Mr. Nacht. Is it Mr. Nacht?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, his note taker. His stenographer.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, take notes.
Mhm.
Record
There's
my
a
every
little bit of
thought. Egomaniac. Record my every thought.
Copious notes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Ben shows up, and of course, the force field lets him in, still keeping everyone else out.
Mm. Ah, yes. Okay, yes. So they've got the second Spider-Man now enters the scene. And this is where we see a bit of Medea and Boone.
Yeah.
Oh, thoroughly forgettable characters, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Henchman 1 and Henchwoman 1. That's basically what they are.
So dangerous. She needs a big 90s laser gun. Yes.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah,
seems
the force field looks like a big Mysterio helmet too, with the smoke around it. Kind of.
Oh, it does too.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
that's
it?
because the top of Ravencroft's that big dome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they should have did. They should at the end of the Clone Saga. They should have revealed Traveler was just like Mysterio or something.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. And so Spider-Man's kind of going through his own mental battles still.
Yeah. Seeing everything, his enemies, his friends, his family, and then basically Peter Parker talking to Spider-Man in his own head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flashing back to some Sinister Six battles, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's just everyone.
Nice. Kraven, Vulture.
Former Avenger Sandman, Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
Oh, yes.
Couple
I
goblins.
like Sandman. Sandman's cool. Yeah,
I do too. I like the way the Green Goblin, he looks a little different in this, kind of. But I kind of
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's thinking of Gwen, but not his wife. Oh,
jeez.
oh my lord! And then just the battle outside with Ben Reilly. I love him crawling on the ceiling with that backpack just hanging off his back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a nice touch. Slinging it over one shoulder. But yeah, you can't get any more 90s with this fight as well. Just reminds me.
And she has to claw off the bottom of his mask too to get that classic McFarlane Spider-Man look, to bring it back to the Spider-Man adjectiveless days. But
yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a symbolism, because it's like in his mind, Peter Parker's mask gets ripped, but in real life, Ben Reilly's mask gets ripped at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's a way to differentiate them, but the Ben Reilly is still clearly wearing pants, a jacket, and a backpack, so it's a little
pretty distinctive.
But they're sort of on the same page at the end, but it seems like Traveler still has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, because Peter beats his inner demons as Ben beats Boone and Medea.
Yeah. Yes.
Tyler Perry.
Boone and Medea for the rest of the days. All right.
We'll expect to check Tyler Perry. And Judas Traveler basically telling Peter, "I'm gonna probe you further." Yeah.
A lot of alien abductions going on at that point.
Yeah.
Go work on the couch.
But then the Spider-Man determination kind of shines through, and he just breaks it all.
Yeah, breaks
that strange the strange contraption he's got on as well, which is, I guess it's just
around
restraints.
his neck and back. Yeah.
It's
from Ravencroft, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say a Ravencroft thing, but he breaks out of that.
And the conclusion: higher ground.
Yeah, because it's both the Spider-Man face-to-face with Traveler at the end of Part 3.
Yeah. I mean, at this point as well, the way that Traveler's been set up, he is quite, as you say, all powerful. I don't know. I was reading this, and you kind of wonder how these two guys, what are they going to do to him? Without a little help. Is there going to be like a cameo appearance or a special guest? You know how Spidey always has special guests over. But yeah, kind of left it up to the very last issue to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I just love in this issue. Yeah, the Spider-Man come face to face and they're just like staring each other down. It's just
you can see the anger even under the masks. They're like, God, I can't believe this. Yeah. It's hard to put aside your differences when you're both exactly the same.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's going? I mean, wait a minute. They're face to face with Traveler, and then I guess he just knocks him out with his mind powers.
Well, sure, why not?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not really explained, but they're on the ground, and then Peter all of a sudden gets this idea that Ben's part of this whole Traveler entourage.
Oh yeah. Well, while they're out, remember we were saying Chakra really doesn't have a role. He's like, here, go mail this letter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which comes out later on, but yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, Peter and Ben wake up, and yeah, Peter's like, tell me about your boss, the Traveler.
Yeah,
he was the one who must have dressed you up to look like Peter Parker.
And he says it again here as well. Stop calling me Parker. I'm Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yeah.
And then they're fighting, and Peter's like, well, Ben proves he's the clone because Peter's like, I haven't faked anyone out with this maneuver since junior high. And he's like, that's a lie. You were already in high school when you were bitten by that radioactive spider. Then he wants to know why Peter's so bitter and angry now.
Yeah.
That's when we just get
then there's
a faceless mob.
A huge slugfest on its way here. Enough of them fighting each other. Time to see them in action fighting a horde of someone.
Yeah. I just love, I guess Ravencroft, I'm glad they supply all their inmates with like random 2x4s and like mop handles. Yeah.
Geez, one of them's got a lamp. It looks like a lamp upside down.
I know. A steel pipe. Yeah, I know. Because these are all like, I guess, non-powered inmates. So yeah, Peter and Ben are just going through them.
Yeah.
Your aunt and uncle didn't raise you to be some dark vigilante.
And another lurker. Take another swig. Anyone? Mr. Narked again.
Oh, I love this line from Ben. If you really hate your life so much, give it up. I'll take it gladly.
Yeah.
Hint. And Peter, not a chance.
Exactly.
And again, Judas Traveler dealing with the mail.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was doing identity thievery. It was more like identity coercion. Give me your identity. I'll take care of that. Letters, neck braces, the FBI and police outside doing nothing.
As usual. Were they just falling asleep now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everyone outside's falling asleep. Yeah. Or then we get one page of Mary Jane on a plane getting airsick? What?
Yeah, well, she has the middle seat. She's got a guy with a newfangled, very odd-looking laptop right next to her.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Yeah.
Just yeah.
It's like a giant keyboard and a Game Boy screen. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Logging onto the intranet.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's a dial-up cord going out from the bottom of the plane.
A big long cord dangling from the plane.
Yeah. Skyways Express.
Hang up down there.
Yeah. My stomach. Ah. She runs away.
No, she's like, I'm going to be sick.
Just a little check-in, just to plant some seeds for later.
That's right.
Plant some seeds, no pun intended.
Oh, you mean like Peter did? Okay.
America. Well, yeah. We'll get there.
Mac. Oh, I can't. Good thing Ray missed that comment.
Ray, yes.
The one page Mary Jane thing, Matt was like, planting some seeds. I'm like, oh, like Peter did.
For later. Yeah.
Back at Ravencroft, the two Spider-Men are still running around and
Wild Whip. This is does anyone remember this person?
No,
I don't remember.
this was like his first and only appearance because it was like, it's like, oh, this is one of the guys Ben Reilly fought on the road. Maybe we'll tell you about this one day. And they never do.
Oh yes, of course, it's him that's saying it. Yep.
Yeah, see, also he almost looks like a Joker knockoff.
Yeah, and crossed with Indiana Jones. And then he immediately gets roasted by Carnage. That loser.
I love Wild Whip. A man with a mask locked me away.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like how
a Spider-Man mask and a leather coat. It was you.
Yeah. I like how both of the Spider-Men evade like the whip, and then Ben Reilly saying, "Geez, saying Peter Parker's a lot better at avoiding it. He's Mr. Casual."
Well, yeah, because Peter does this every day. Ben, I guess.
It's
just
exactly.
A little rusty. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah. He always says that, doesn't he? He's a little rusty.
Yeah. But he rises to the occasion because he's working alongside the original or his counterpart. We'll just say, since the confusion between who's the original, who's the real is
it gets too much.
Yeah, it's too much. And then we see Carnage making some symbiote Wolverine things, and then a giant mallet and a hacksaw. Very Quasar-esque, copyrighted.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
come on.
That's like he can't do that.
That's right. Copyright trademarked.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
We got to drop Will
Yeah,
at least once an episode.
Will,
yes.
Yeah.
But that would have been funny, when Carnage is growing the claws, if they just would have did a schnick, and it's like, Wolverine, and it's like, oh no, it's Carnage. That's the only way this would be more 90s, if like Wolverine showed up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Punisher, or
Yeah, on the back of Ghost Rider's motorcycle.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're fighting Carnage, and Ben Reilly's like, oh my lord.
That's a big jump up in competition from a guy with a whip against maybe one of the most formidable foes of the modern Spider-Man era.
But once again, he's just like, oh, I'm so out of shape.
Yeah.
But I love their teamwork. The double drop kick to the head, kind of. That's enough. That's enough for Carnage back then. Now
that is, yeah.
Brilliance. Yeah.
That's it. That's enough. And he's still smiling, unconscious. He's like his jury grin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the kick is cool. I mean, a lot of times Sal, I guess he didn't do it this issue. Usually, you ever see Spider-Man give someone like a big red cross and send him flying across the room? He does that a lot.
Upside down, backwards. Yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess because they're both coming from different angles and it's going into the head, that's got to do some damage if you're normally sending someone flying and then they're just points of impact. Yeah, that's why he's smiling, so concussed. It's just his brain is somewhere else,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, two super guys with super strength kicking you in the head.
Yeah.
Can't feel good. Yeah, and one of them is wearing boots.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, steel caps.
Then they run after Traveler, and because Traveler looks like he's just walking out of the building all casual.
Yeah.
He's doesn't bat an eyelid. He's off on his own little world.
And here's the set. Here's the setup. Yeah. Peter's like, I'll take Traveler. You take the henchman, and Ben's like, I got to escort us out of Buddha Medea, and he dives into
their escape limo.
Their escape limo. Yes.
Yeah. The chauffeur's still there. Where do you want to go, sir?
Straight to Hades.
Well, yeah, because Ben dives in. He's like, wait a minute, there's no one in here. Spider sense.
Boom.
Because the whole thing blows up. And then I guess Peter chases Traveler back into Ravencroft.
Yeah, and then he just he kind of just loses interest and disappears.
Oh yeah, he knocks Spider-Man out again. It just Traveler disappears.
With some telepathic or who knows, again, off screen.
Traveler goes traveling. And everyone outside wakes up and comes back into Ravencroft, and it's like, they're all basically trying to figure out what's going on. All the inmates are back in their cells, and
yeah. So what happened here? Did Traveler? Did he bring everyone back? Because did Carnage lie then, or did he turn back time or something to revert everything back to?
Again, at this point, it's like, oh, does he have the time travel abilities? Does he have all these? But again, at the end of the Clone Saga, I think it's just like, oh, he has these psychic abilities. So I guess he just made Carnage think he killed a bunch of people.
Okay.
See, that's why he was smiling even unconscious, Kona, because Carnage was like, oh, I killed all these people.
Yeah, right. I know.
His dream is loving it.
Yep, that's what he lives for.
And then the letter postmarked a week ago. It's like, wait, Dr. Traveler said he didn't show up, but
yeah, strange sort of epilogue. Things are
going
and
yes, they get away in their limousine and then play some heavy metal. That was a heavy metal ending.
Yeah. Yeah, Spider-Man swings off, and then the lone figure. You see the ring, Ben Reilly.
Oh yeah,
the ring again.
Well, the exploding limousine. He's like, oh, maybe Ben Reilly's dead. So yeah,
nice. It ties everything up, but no.
Yeah.
It's
like for the next two storylines we cover. Yeah, Ben Reilly's kind of on his own in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the old escape hatch in the limo. It's always
trap door.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of this story?
Yeah. I enjoyed The Lost Years a lot more.
Yeah.
I think I would give this maybe a C+.
Ooh.
I think. Yeah. I mean, I am a fan of the 90s and stuff, but I don't know. I'm a fan of James DeMatteis, and the art was pretty decent, but there was just a lot of, I don't know. I wasn't interested in Judas Traveler at all, so I didn't like him. I didn't like his entourage. The most interesting bits were understandably Ben Reilly and Spider-Man moments, and that was when they were together. That was good, but yeah, probably like a C+.
Yeah, I mean, I probably agree with you there. Probably C+. I don't know if I'd bump it up to a B-, but I mean, it's Judas Traveler is basically just a plot device, basically to tempt the Spider-Man and get this whole ball rolling and stuff.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I think that it didn't have to be 4 issues. I think they just did that so it could be 1 in each of the Spider-Man titles, and I felt like I liked it as a kid, and it doesn't hold up as much to re-examination, but it just felt like there were cool elements, but it didn't really pay off how I don't know how I would have liked it to. I know it's not all about the fans; they're telling different stories and stuff, but I got kind of a kick out of rereading it, but I agree. I liked the last episode, so go back a month and listen to the material that we covered on that, because it was a little bit more fresh and new, and I didn't see that before, so it could be just my eyes, I guess.
And it's just that, and I think the last one was a lot more simpler. There weren't all these moving parts, like Traveler and all the Carnage stuff and everything. Yeah. This one was so 90s.
Yeah,
it was.
So 90s it hurts. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I got nothing else.
So Matt and I can start our day, and Ray can end his.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No. All good. Just great that we're starting this journey. Looking forward to more Ben Reilly. He's an interesting character. Like, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait till to see a sweatshirt debut and the cutoff shirt over it. Yeah.
I believe that's that. Yeah. I believe that's the next Scarlet Spider episode we'll be doing. He gets the suit, and we got Carnage this episode. Next, he gets the suit, and I believe Venom next time.
Ooh, awesome. Nice.
Yeah, his first opponent.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I got to bow out a minute early, so see you later.
Oh, hey,
At
before
Matt Kona.
I was going to say,
Jumping the gun in the intro.
Yes.
MATTKONA. Look me up. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all that. And I'll see you guys next month, and I'll see you next week on the Quantum Zone, perhaps, too. So, for the listeners, it's you guys.
Yes.
You'll hear from me. Awesome. All right. Good night.
Thanks,
good morning.
buddy.
See you, Matt. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right, so yes, next episode, the Exile returns from Web of Spider-Man and the Adjectiveless Spider-Man. And then meanwhile, Lilith and I will be still covering more alien costume stuff. So check that all out. Send your thoughts, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Follow us on all the social media, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt to Killer, Pod Life the Book, now in digital and paperback. And use the Amazon link right here in the show notes for Southgate Media Group. Send some money to Rob because, believe it or not, these cost money to put up. So support your favorite podcasts. And speaking
Sorry, can listeners just send money to me as well?
I was gonna say, speaking of podcasts and speaking of sending money, Ray.
No, I was just saying, look, just send money to me. Like, no reason, no rhyme. Just do it.
I'll take that too. Yes.
Sorry to cut you off there, Phil.
That's good.
If you like what you hear and stuff, you can catch me on Into the Night Moon Knight podcast, Twitter handle at ITK Moon Knight, Facebook.com/ITK Moon Knight. Also, I co-host a Superman podcast, both of which, the Moon Knight and Superman podcast, Phil has dropped in some juicy feedback. So if you want to hear Phil's voice on those shows, just check out the latest episodes. Last Sons of Krypton, Twitter handle LSK Podcast, and Facebook.com/LSK Podcast.
All right. Yes, check those all out. Fine quality programming. And, all right, let's get out of here. Like I said, come back. Well, next week, Lilith and I will be back. Alien costume. They come back in 1 month for the Exile return. Ben Reilly gets a suit and a name. Not a name you like, but pure 90s. Once a month is pure 90s. But until then, swing on back.